Sugar is in many foods we eat every day. Sugar hides in foods we might not expect, like bread, pasta sauce, peanut butter. Eating too much sugar makes us gain weight. It can give us bad breath and make us sick. Scientists say sugar is like a drug to our brains. It makes us want to eat more and more of it. Our bodies do not need any sugar to be healthy. Sugar does not give us any good things we need. It has no protein, vitamins, minerals or fiber. When we eat foods with lots of sugar in them, our blood sugar goes up very high, very fast. This makes our body work hard to use the sugar. The sugar that we do not use becomes fat. This extra fat is stored all over our bodies. Too much fat can hurt our head and other parts. Many doctors today say sugar is a poison. They say it is more dangerous than we knew. Sugar can make our liver get sick over time. A sick liver cannot do its job to keep us well. Lots of sugar can even damage our brain. It can make it harder for us to pay attention. We might have trouble learning and remembering. Sugar can make us feel tired and sad too. It can affect our sleep and our mood. Some people say sugar is as bad as alcohol. It can cause problems for our whole body. But sugar is hiding in so many things we eat. It can be hard to know how much we take in. Food companies put sugar in foods for taste. They want us to buy more so they make it sweet. Sugar can be named many different ways too, like corn syrup, cane juice, honey and more. This makes it tricky to tell how much is there. We have to look closely at labels to find it. The World Health Organization made a guide. They say to have less than 10% of our calories from sugar. For most grown-ups, that is about 50 grams or 12 teaspoons of sugar in one day. But many people today eat much more than that. One can of sweet soda has 10 teaspoons of sugar. A cup of fruit yogurt can have 6 teaspoons. Sugar adds up fast, even when we don't see it. The average American eats 19 teaspoons a day. That adds up to 66 pounds of sugar in a year. Eating too much sugar is a new health problem. People ate much less sugar than now. But today, sugar is added to many factory foods. It is also cheap to add, so companies use it a lot. Some doctors say sugar is the cause of many illnesses, like heart disease, cancer and diabetes. More people have these diseases than in the past, and more people are eating more sugar now too. But not everyone agrees that sugar is so bad. Some people say a little sugar is fine if we are careful. Other things make us unhealthy too, like eating too much food or not moving our bodies. The debate of how much sugar affects us is not over. But what we do know is that it has no nutrients, and that our bodies do not need it at all. Many experts say the smart choice is to cut back. Even though sugar tastes good, it can hurt us. That is the bitter truth about this sweet stuff. If we eat less sugar, we can be healthier. It is not always easy in a world full of sugar, but knowing the facts can help us make good choices. We can check labels to see how much sugar is there. We can choose whole foods that do not have it. With a few changes we can take control of sugar, instead of letting all that sugar control us. When we eat sugar, it affects our whole body, not just in one way, but in many ways we can't see. Inside us, sugar can do a lot of hidden harm. It makes our organs and blood work too hard. Sugar can make all the system in us break down. That includes our heart, lungs, brain and gut. Too much sugar acts like a slow poison inside. Over time the damage can make us very unwell. Many people do not know how much harm it does. Sugar has only been a big part of our diet recently. In the past, people ate a lot of sugar in its natural form, like in fruit, honey and other whole plant foods. But now we add sugar to many things we create. We take it out of plants and put it in our food. This type of sugar is processed and not the same. It does not come with the fiber and nutrients that whole plant foods have to help us stay well. Processed sugar is absorbed too fast in our body. It can make our blood sugar and insulin spike. Insulin is a hormone that helps sugar enter cells, but too much can make us not respond to it well. This is called insulin resistance, and it is not good. It makes us store more sugar as fat, not energy, and it can lead to weight gain and type 2 diabetes. When our cells resist insulin, sugar stays in our blood. High blood sugar can hurt our blood vessels and more. It can make us age faster on the inside. This can show up as heart disease or other problems. Too much sugar can also cause inflammation inside us. Inflammation is like a fire that can hurt our cells. Over time it can lead to many types of health issues. No one wants these problems, but they are common now. And a big reason is that we simply eat too much sugar. But the good news is, our body can heal when we stop. We can feel better, have more energy, and think more clearly. For people that like sweet things, they may need to get it from whole foods, not from added sugar. Fruit is nature's candy and can satisfy a sweet tooth. Things like apples, berries, and melon have fiber and nutrients, and the sugar in them is not processed like added sugar. There are also natural herbs and spices to add sweetness. Cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, and mint are a few good ones. A little bit of these can flavor food without hurting us. There are healthy recipes that use fruit and spices for dessert, instead of refined flour and sugar in most sweets. We can still enjoy sweet things now and then as a treat, if we make themselves with good whole nutrients. When we cut out added sugar, our taste buds can change. We can appreciate the natural sweetness in food. Food that used to be boring can taste really good. Our body and brain adjust to the change in our diet. Each day without added sugar makes us less hooked. Some people even have physical symptoms when they stop, like headaches, low energy, and feeling cranky or sad. But this usually only lasts a few days to a week at most. This is a sign that our body is healing from the addiction. Getting rid of added sugar can be hard at first. It takes some planning and commitment to do. But the benefits are so worth it for our lifelong health. We only get one body and one brain in our life. We need to take care of them by watching our sugar. Every step we take to use less can help us feel better. If sugar is so unhealthy, why do some people like sugar in the first place? To understand, we need to look at some history. And we need to know a few things about our brain. Sugar has not always been such a big part of what we eat. Thousands of years ago it was very rare and hard to find. The only sugar people ate came from fruit and honey. And they did not eat a lot because it was not always around. But that changed when we learned how to grow sugarcane, and later how to make sugar beets into white sugar too. This happened a few hundred years ago and changed everything. Suddenly we could make as much sugar as we wanted, if we could afford it, because it was very expensive at first. Only the rich people could have a lot of sugar every day, but that made other people want to have it too. Sugar became a symbol of wealth and special treat. It wasn't until about 100 years ago that it got really cheap. That's when the problem of too much sugar really got big. Companies started putting sugar in many foods and drinks, and people started eating a lot more of it than ever before. But here's the thing about the human brain and sugar. Our brains are still wired like they were long ago, when sugar was rare and our brain wanted us to eat it, because back then it helped us to get enough energy to live. Our brains give us a big reward when we eat sugar. It gives us a boost of feel-good chemicals called dopamine. This reward system in our brain is very old and strong. It motivated our ancestors to seek out sweet foods, because they provided a lot of energy and were safe to eat. Things that were very bitter or sour could be poisonous. So our brain learned to make us love the taste of sweet. And that worked fine when there was not much sugar around. But today, we can get sugar all the time, everywhere. And our brains still give us that dopamine hit every time. So we keep wanting more and more to feel good. This is why many people get hooked on sugary things. Our brains are just doing what they are designed to do. They are trying to help us survive by making us want sugar. But in today's world with so much sugar, it can backfire and make us eat too much of something that is not good. Our brains haven't caught up with how things have changed. Some experts say sugar acts on our brain like a drug. It stimulates the same reward pathways as some drugs do. And it can be just as addictive and hard to quit for some. Just like with drugs, we can build a tolerance to sugar. But we need more and more of it to get the same good feeling. And when we try to eat less, we can get withdrawal symptoms. The dopamine hit from sugar is not the only reason we like it. Sugar also tastes good because it is quick energy for our cells. When we taste it, our body knows we can use it right away. And that makes us feel satisfied and good in the moment. Sugar also makes us feel emotionally good in other ways. Many of us have happy childhood memories linked to sugar. like birthday cakes, ice cream, holidays and special rewards. This emotional link can make us crave it more as we get older. We want to feel those warm, happy feelings again and again. But those feelings do not last long and they can trick us. They can trick us into thinking we need sugar to feel good, but it's not true. There are many healthy ways to feel happy without sugar, like being with people we love, doing fun or doing creative things, learning something new, getting outside, helping others, laughing, playing with pets, or just enjoying nature. The truth is we do not need any added sugar to thrive. People can be very healthy and happy eating very little of it. The World Health Organization says to aim for less than 10% of daily calories from added sugar. And less is even better. But most people today get a lot more than that every day. What is the big reason some people eat more sugar than what's recommended? It has to do with how sugar is sold and marketed to us. The food industry knows that we love the taste of sweet. They know sugar is cheap to add and it makes us want more. So they put it in almost everything, even foods that are not treats. This is a big change from how food used to be made and sold. In the past, most food was made at home from whole ingredients. People knew exactly what was in the food and how it was made. But now most of our food is made in factories by companies. They create many foods that are cheap, convenient, and last long. But to do this, they have to lose a lot of processed ingredients like sugar. These processed foods are designed to make us crave them. They use ads, commercials, and labels to persuade us to buy. They target kids with cartoon characters, bright colors and fun. They give us coupons and put candy right by the checkout. They also give us big sizes and say we are getting a good deal. All of this marketing is created by very smart people. They study what makes us want to eat food and buy it again. They know sugar is one of the main things that hook us. And they know if a food is sweeter, we are likely to eat more. This is why products like cereal, yogurt and sauces are so sweet. Much sweeter than they were years ago or than they need to be. This is a real problem because these foods seem healthy, but they can have a surprising amount of added sugar. And that sugar adds up fast when we eat them every day, without even realizing how much sugar we are getting. Another way the food industry gets us to eat more sugar is by creating confusion about how much is in the food. They do this by using many different names for sugar, so it does not look like sugar in the main ingredient. But the truth is that all names mean the same thing. Sugar is sugar whether it's called cane syrup or fructose. The food industry also hides how much sugar is in a food. But using tricky serving size on the nutrition labels, they might say a food has only 5 grams of sugar per serving. But then the serving size is much smaller than we would eat, like only half a cup of cereal or a tiny cookie. So if we eat a normal amount, it can add up to a lot of sugar. This is why it is so important to read labels very carefully and to know all the sneaky names for sugar in our food. But even when we read labels, it can still be confusing, because the labels do not have to list added sugars. This is the extra sugar put in during processing. It is different from the natural sugars in fruit and milk, but the labels do not have to tell us how much is added. This is a big problem, because added sugar is the kind to limit, but the labels make it seem like all sugar is the same. We have to look at the ingredients, not just the numbers, and note that if a sugar name is high on the list, it probably means that the food has a lot of added sugar. But we do not have to let all this hidden sugar trick us. We can take back control of how much sugar we eat. We can limit processed foods and choose more whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans and grains. We can make more of our own meals and snacks at home, so we know exactly what is going into our bodies. We can also speak up and ask for more honest labeling, and for more products to be made with less added sugar. Sugar can affect our health in some surprising ways beyond just weight gain. Sugar can harm us by causing something called chronic inflammation in our body. Inflammation is a normal response to injury or illness. It is how our immune system helps us to heal and fight germs. But when we have inflammation all the time, it is not good. It means our body is always on high alert and stressed. This can happen when we eat a lot of sugar every day, because sugar can trigger inflammation in a few days. First, when we eat a lot of sugar, our blood sugar spikes, and this causes our body to release inflammatory messengers. These tiny proteins tell our immune cells to go into action, and this can lead to a low-grade inflammation over time. Sugar also feeds the bad bacteria in our gut. When the bad bacteria take over, they can cause leaky gut. Eating a lot of sugar can also make us gain weight, and excess body fat, especially belly fat, makes inflammation worse. Fat cells are not just storage tanks for extra calories, they also send out inflammatory signals that affect our whole body. So the more sugar we eat, the more fat we store and the more inflammation we have on the inside, even if we cannot see it. This chronic inflammation can lead to some serious health problems. It can make us more likely to get heart disease, stroke and diabetes. It has also been linked to arthritis, allergies and asthma. And it may even increase our risk for some types of cancer. This is because inflammation can damage healthy cells and tissues. Over time this damage can add up and cause disease in our organs. Chronic inflammation can even harm our brain and mental health. It has been linked to depression, anxiety, mood swings and memory loss. This may be because inflammation can affect our brain chemicals, like serotonin and dopamine, which help regulate our mood and thoughts. Too much inflammation can interfere with how these chemicals work and make it harder for our brain to function at its best. Another surprising way sugar can affect our health is through our skin. Our skin is our largest organ and it reflects what is happening inside. When we eat a lot of sugar, it can show up on our skin in many ways. Sugar can cause inflammation in our skin just like in our body. This can lead to skin conditions like acne. Sugar can also make our skin age faster by damaging collagen. Over time, sugar can cause wrinkles and dullness in our skin. Sugar can even make our skin more vulnerable to sun damage and skin cancer. This is because inflammation can suppress our skin's natural defenses and make it harder for our skin to repair itself after sun exposure. So if we want to have a healthy glowing skin, we need to watch our sugar. But the good news is that cutting back on sugar can help reverse the damage. Our body and skin have an amazing ability to heal when we give them a chance. When we reduce sugar and inflammation in our body, our cells can repair. Many people who give up sugar notice clearer, brighter skin in just a few weeks. They may also have more energy, better digestion, and fewer aches and pains. This is because their body is not working so hard to fight inflammation. Instead, it can focus on healing and maintaining good health. So if you want to feel your best on the inside and look your best on the outside, cutting back on sugar is one of the smartest steps you can take. Your body, skin and mind will all benefit in so many ways. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain by breaking free from sugar and discovering the natural sweetness and vitality that lies within you.